Hello everyone. In today's video, I will be showing you my thought process after having a really shitty start and going 1-4 with 3k net worth at 10 minutes to 13-7 and eventually winning the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with some background for this game. Basically there was a last pick Pudge on the enemy team that was position 3, and Pudge is like really good against Tia. So the lane, I made some mistakes in the lane, and the lane went into absolute disaster. And because of that, they started to snowball, and I had no space to play the game. But eventually, I made some decisions that helped me come back in the game, and then we won. So starting off from the laning phase, I skilled Melt because Pudge is a melee hero. But then I see his inventory, and he has a Wraith Band early on, so he has like 2 armor. So it's like pretty hard to hit him, but regardless, I can see Sky on the map, like I can see him here. So at this point, I know I have like some window where I can harass this guy. So I decide to go and meld him before this guy shows up in the lane, because I also want to save my meld to dodge his W, right? And it isn't like a really big cooldown. So what I do here is I go on the Pudge, I use my meld, but the mistake that I make is I keep hitting him again and again. And I don't see the Sky, like I forgot about the Sky, and then he slows me. And then Pudge hooks me, and I lose almost all of my HP. So I do survive, but in this lane, if I'm like 10% HP at this point of the lane's already over. Like after this point, it's really hard to come back in this lane. This is a lane that is really bad for TA because of several reasons. First of all, Pudge's Rolls is like really good against TA, and like I can't fight these two 1 versus 2. Like it's not possible for me to fight them, and they're gonna constantly harass me, push me out of the lane. So if I'm already this low, I can't really contest them in any way. Like if you see here, I'm just stuck because of that one mistake that I make. This lane's like absolutely done for. Like right now, the Treant is gonna feed. I don't think he should have traded there, but it's like whatever. I already fucked up the lane myself, so I can't really blame him. So I'm just standing here. You can see how much this guy is harassing me. And I dodge the projectile, but still, like, you know, I'm like really low. I have no salve. There's like no regen at all because salves are nerfed. So coming back in this lane is like really hard. But still, regardless, we'll just go over it for a little bit. I also feed here. Like Treant dies again. Like they're just getting too many levels. They're just getting a lot of stuff. And then they kill me as well because they have a sentry. And I get hit by the concussive shot, and then I just die. So at this point, they're like level 3 and we're like level 2. And the more levels that they get, the harder this lane gets. So if you go, like, if I have to summarize this part of the laning phase and all that, is that if I didn't make that mistake that I did early on, like this point where I go here and I just like lose all of my HP because of this one mistake. If this didn't happen, maybe we had a chance of laning. Maybe we probably would have had a better lane for sure. Like if I'm standing here and Treant's just like harassing them with boots, it's like really easy. But since I made this mistake, this lane's absolutely done, and this is what's gonna cause them to snowball. Fast forwarding, we don't even have this camp blocked, or neither are we pulling, so we're just like stuck in this like really bad situation where we're just gonna keep dying. So we continuously feed them. I'm just like standing here chilling for a bit. And then, like, I'm getting whatever I can, and I haven't got a shit. Like, if you see my net worth, like, I actually don't have anything. I'm like 2k net worth. So I'm just like standing here. Then I see CM here, so I eventually did decide that, okay, if CM's here, like, there's no way I can stay here. So I just like go jungle and I just keep farming. So what happens is that since Sky was so much fed, he's really close to level 6. Like, he's already level 5, and then he goes here. He gets a kill on Mirana, and then he gets like level 6. But I didn't actually see that. So now there's like a level 6 Sky roaming around the map at 8 minutes. So you can imagine how that goes. And then they just like kill me because this was warded. So I just die. So this is like how the game was going. Moving forward, I have no space on the map. I can't farm top because the enemy is invading the jungle. They have vision in there. And I can't go to the triangle because similar case, they could smoke and go in there. So I'm just like kind of stuck here because Treant is like top. He's pushing in this lane, so I can't be here. He's trying to defend this tower. and Marcy wants to farm, so she's bottom lane, so I can't go there either. So I'm just like stuck at mid right now, pushing mid only because Batrider was dead. So eventually he's gonna be out there as well. So now I'm just like staying here, trying to, you know, get the most out of what I can. And then basically my game plan right now is that I need to get whatever farm that I can get, so that I can get my first item, which is the Dragon Lance, so that I can fight with my team. Because the state of the game, which is right now, I can't really farm. Like, I need some way of like coming back in this game, and that's like someone in the team has to fight. So basically, the thing is that they're smoking in our jungle. Like, you can see them. They're going in here. They're killing my team. And like, I can't really join them and help them because I have nothing. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna just like utilize the space that my team has made for me, and I'm gonna push this lane in and get whatever farm that I can get. I can't really farm in this game because I have no space, and technically my mid laner and my off laner are supposed to make space for me, but they can't do that given the conditions they are in. My Batrider needs to farm his BKB. Similarly for my Marcy, she needs her BKB before she can do anything. To explain why they need BKB is because if you look at the enemy heroes, they have CM who has a root, they have silence and magic burst on Skyret, and Pudge is really fast. He has a BKB. He has a blink soon, and he can do a lot of stuff. So basically, all they have is stuff that once you get BKB, they can't really like use it. So these two heroes need BKB before they can create space for me. So in order for me to be useful, I need to create space for these guys. If they want to open the map to invade our jungle and stop us from farming, they need to take our towers. But they don't exactly have that much tower damage. Like, none of their heroes do tower damage. And we have a Treant who is protecting the top tower. Like, it's been 15 minutes and the top tower is still alive. Mid tower is alive. Bottom tower is alive. So my game plan right now is that if I can't farm and my Marcy and my Batrider both need space to buy BKB, what I can do is I can protect these towers even if I have to die for them until they get BKBs and they can make space for me. So this is what I do. I just go in, I put traps, and I'm just like constantly playing with my team while I let Marcy and like Batrider just farm. So you see, I even die for it here. Like, imagine if like Marcy TP's in or like Batrider TP's in, how good this fight goes. But that's not the case anymore because Marcy wants to farm her BKB before she wants to do anything. Same for Batrider. So I die again, which is like, at this point it's like kind of despair. But eventually, like, I know like if my Marcy is like fat, we can do a lot of stuff. So now whatever space I get, I'm just like farming because I want my items as well. So this keeps happening. They smoke here again because they had vision, and I die again. So now I'm like 2-6. You can see how bad this game is going, but eventually we end up winning them because like the mentality that I adopted is like, whatever space I get, little bit, I'll farm. If there's no space, I'll try to defend my towers. That is my game plan for this game. So you see, like, Batrider is creating space for me here. So I have like some idea that they're on mid. Like, they use their smoke on an illusion, so I know they're mid, so I can like push this lane. And then they're gonna go towards the Batrider. And then when I see this, I was like, okay, I have an opening, and Sky is dead, right? Sky is the one who's dealing damage. So now I say, okay, this is an opening for me to take this tower. So eventually I take this tower, some map is open for us. So now the situation is starting to get better for us. Like, you can see the lead is coming to our side. It was still on our side, but it's like our lead didn't mean anything at that time. So I'm farming, then I see that my Marcy has BKB, she's fighting. Like, you see, like, the BKB is making a lot of difference, and then this guy also has a BKB, he's gonna TP in. So I'm like, okay, this seems like a good fight. So I just go in here. Both these guys die, but Batrider and me, we just like come to clean up. And what happens is that because we won this fight, we end up taking this tower. Eventually we get this, but since like there's like a lot of space on the map, I just want to farm now. I'm just like utilizing every space like I get, or however you want to say it. So I'm just like mode farm now. So the next thing I realize is that, so this Pudge almost has his axe, so he already has it. And the other thing is that if I buy Desolator here and not BKB, I can't really fight into them. They have chains, they have like a lot of kite, you know, they can root me, Sky can just burst me down alone. And not to mention the Pudge is gonna use Rot and I'm just dead. So what I decide to do here is I change my item build. I buy BKB instead of Desolator. So what BKB allows me to fight. They're already low armor heroes, so my meld can just help. So if I have BKB, I have some chance of fighting with my team because now everyone in my team is ready. And the next thing that I want to do is that I see this wave bot, and I'm thinking that I should go farm this wave, but there's like one issue is that they're trying to take Rosh right now, and I'm like 200 gold away from my BKB. So I'm thinking if I stay here and if I like farm here, I can get my BKB and then I can also fight. Because they just started Rosh and they won't probably finish it in time. So I just stay here instead of TPing bot. They go on me. So the mistake that we make here is that I'm staying here, I'm fighting because I know that my Marcy is with me. Ember has used all his spells. So the only way I die is if Pudge uses Dismember on me. But I know Marcy can just save me, you know. But she already used Dispose on this guy. Then just Pudge has a free opening. And then he just like Dismembers me and I die. And they get Aegis. So this is where it gets bad for us. And then after this point, we get a couple kills. So it's not that bad. So now I just want to like go back to mode farm again. So now I know that my team can handle the map for a bit, so I can just farm. So I get my BKB. I'm hitting creeps still. And then now I want to play a bit aggressive because I have BKB now. I'm thinking about buying Daedalus, but I change my mind later on and I get a Desolator eventually. But yeah, here we set up a gank on Ember Spirit because we see him farming and he doesn't have BKB. The reason why neither of their cores are buying BKB, like they have these items on Ember and Ursa. The reason why they're not buying BKBs is because they're playing against 2 physical damage heroes, Lasso, Root, all of this stuff goes through BKB. And it doesn't really help that much. They can buy other items like Ags, Manta and stuff. So this is where we have the advantage. So we kill this guy, now I'm pushing bot again, but you know, I just like keep farming. Fight going on top, but since we have BKBs on our good cores heroes, because I made space for them, being the position 1, now they can fight without me. Like you see this Marcy's owning, this Batrider is owning. And I have all the space now. So now I'm just farming. And yeah, so the thing that goes wrong here is that we smoke because we want to play here. But I tell my team that, guys, there's no point playing there. Rosh is not up. And we can just play bot where we have vision. And also our Batrider is dead. But my team still decides to go for this play. And I'm moving towards them. So I can join. But eventually they just feed there. So like now again we have to like stop and think about what we're gonna do. So I go back and farm again. I just keep farming. Buy my Tesso. Like the same thing going on here. Every space that I get, I'm just farming. Like you can see I've like almost recovered. I'm like almost top net worth. Regardless of having a really bad start. So I get a DD here. And now I'm just like pressuring the tower. They're TPing in really badly. And then we just kill them here. I get a triple kill here. Really good fight. Because there's like TPing in 1 by 1, you know. Damage they have is like all goes through. It doesn't go through BKB. So we're like really strong right now. So yeah, now we wipe them. Now we suddenly have lead. I got a lot of charges on my Desolator. So now I have more damage. And we force fortification. And then we just go back. We don't abuse this. Because we know Rosh is about to be up. If we feed here, they could potentially get Rosh. So we just go back. Fast forwarding to this point where we smoked for Rosh. We want to smoke, get some pick off, and then go Rosh after that. So the Ursa fucks up. He gets lassoed into the arrow, and now the fight's just like really easy, even with me not being there. It's just like my heroes are like just too strong now. So I'm going here. We're fighting. We get a kill. Then we just go Rosh. We take Rosh. I get silence on my traps. And after this point, the game is just like, I think it's like unlosable unless we do some like really bad throw. So instead of like going mid to push, like I see their heroes reviving, respawning. Sorry, and I don't want to risk it. Same as the last replay analysis that we did. My thought process, I don't want to risk the game in any way. So I'm just gonna utilize my ages, play as best as I can, farm as much as I can. Just increase your lead, you know. Like I'm top net worth right now. I'm 5-7. And the game just like really easy. My team just like roaming around the map. They literally don't need me anymore. Like not like literally, but yeah. So I'm just like fighting here. There's like a lot of kite going on, and we just like kind of lose this fight. So we're going back, like because I don't want to throw. Like this game is still throwable, but it's like yeah, you have to be really careful in this situation. Fast forwarding again, we smoke again, and we're trying to go for this fight. I started because I have ages, and then my train does a double root on them, and we managed to kill multiple heroes. I think we just wiped them here. I think. Oh no, Pudge survives. But yeah, we killed them all. But you need to understand a few things here. Like, this fight isn't what's important. What's important is what we do after the fight. So after the fight, we're just like taking buildings. We're not focused on going high ground because they have like double fortification. One that they have already, and the other that they're gonna get after we kill their tier 3. So if we go high ground right now, try to go there, we're gonna waste at least like 20 seconds and we won't get shit, and there's like a good chance we will just like die and give them a chance to come back in the game. So we're playing with like super discipline here. This is the key point, being disciplined when it comes to sieging. Like right now I don't have, like, it is gonna expire soon. The best thing that we can do right now is take control of all their map, like trap them inside their base and wait for ages, and then just end the game with that. So you're gonna see even Batrider died, so we're just like chilling on the map, you know, pushing every part of the map, taking every area, increasing my farm as much as I can. Like you see, like I was like fucking 3k net worth at 10 minutes, and now I'm like 24k at 35 minutes. So this is all like because of the initially decision making that I made for making space for my other 2 cores as a carry. And that is, you know, like if you think about it, that was my job because I fucked up in the lane. The reason why this game became a shit show was because Pudge and Sky were like so fat that we didn't have any map because of their rotations and how they were playing. The blink on Pudge, the early levels on Sky, they were just like ruining our game plan completely. So it was my job to make sure that we somehow come back in this game by my decisions. So now we're just like chilling. You see, like we're not going high ground at all. We're just like waiting, and then eventually they come out and a fight. Let's just go back a bit. Eventually they come out and we're fighting here. I'm gonna use. So another thing that I want to explain is that I don't go for the Daedalus here. Instead, I go for Nullifier because I know this guy doesn't have a BKB and he has like E-Blade. So if I want to burst him down in Lasso or something, I have to just buy Nullifier. So this is happening. We kill Ursa. He buys back. And then like at this point I'm thinking about going back because it's like it's essentially 2v3, and then he gets like a super good root, and then I kill 2, and then it's like 1v1 carry versus carry, and then I just like decimate this guy. Like I'm just like going very deep. I'm just waiting for him to go on me, then I just go on him and I kill him. So after this point the game is like over. They don't have buyback on their carry. I'm just gonna take their axes, and then eventually the game just ends. So overall, the key things to learn from this analysis is when you're behind, you need to think about what your team needs and what you can do about it. For example, like my team needed space. Like my other 2 cores, they needed space before they could make space for me. If my lane wasn't shit and if I didn't feed that much in my lane, then the scenario would be completely different. Then they could make space for me because they wouldn't feel pressured. So what I had to do was I had to buy some fighting item like Dragon Lance and just like defend towers with my life. Because if the towers aren't defended, the map just opens up. They get Rosh, they got our jungle, and then we can't farm anywhere. Then the game just ends in like 20 minutes. Like we just get stomped. So these are the key things that led to this. I hope this was helpful for you and hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know your feedback in the comments, and if you enjoy content like this, do consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.